Hi everybody and welcome to Mark's 900. I'm Mark, and would you just look at the potholes in this road. Come on, Gloucester County Council, get a grip. Anyway, tonight is a very special night. Not only is the sun shining, but I've just had a birthday and now I'm the proud owner of this new GoPro 10. Not that I've had a chance to play with it properly, you understand, and so this video might be a little bit ropey, and in fact I can already see that I've set it up at the wrong angle. Still, it is nice to see the Z900's dashboard in all of its glory. Now, the other reason that it's a special night is because it's a Wednesday night in the Cotswolds in the middle of summer, and that can only mean one thing: Wednesday night Cotswold Bike Night. I couldn't be more excited because I don't normally have a chance to get to these nights, and on the other two occasions when I did go, it absolutely persisted down with rain, and so they were a bit of a washout. Tonight, however, the sun's shining and there's no forecast of rain, so I'm going to go and head to a pub in Churchtown called the Hare and Hounds, or as we know it, the Hairy Mound. And today I'm going to be joined by an Africa Twin and an MT-09. So I've ridden that MT-09 because we do swap bikes occasionally. I have to say I really do like it, and I can see why they're so popular. Unfortunately, I haven't yet ridden the Africa Twin because my mate who rides it is way taller than me and he's got the seat set on the highest setting. So I'd probably need a stepladder or be some kind of ninja to get onto it. And lowering the seat is a real drama. So it looks simple enough, and there's probably a knack to it, but we've spent far too long messing around with that seat, and now it's just going to be left exactly where it is, which means that I can't get on it. Anyway, on with the trip, and let's cut through this traffic jam. I've got no idea what this is doing here, especially at this time of night, but there's no dramas. We're on a bike, and traffic queues are clearly no problem whatsoever. So Cotswold Bike Night does have its own Facebook page where they tell us to meet each Wednesday night in the summer, and they also do the occasional weekend away somewhere. So it's a very sociable group, and there's loads of pictures get posted there, and usually a bit of sort of drone footage and stuff like that. So it's a great place to go and visit if you're thinking about doing the bike night. So tonight we're headed off to a pub in the village of Meghan Markle. Sorry, the village of Much Markle. Now, Much Markle is just outside of Hereford and is where infamous serial killer Fred West buried some of his victims. Whereas, of course, Meghan Markle is where Prince Harry buries his helmet. God, this channel really has gone downhill. Right, anyway, back to the bikes. So I managed to catch up with my mates, and we set off, and here we are arriving at Bike Night. Now, you can already see on the right hand side there are tons and tons of bikes parked in this car park, and the marshal's doing a great job of flagging us in to show us where to park up. I think later on in the evening this whole area is going to be packed out as well, but for now we're just going to continue up here, just find out where we can stick our bikes in amongst it all, and then go and have a good look round. So really looking forward to this. Already seen loads of great bikes, and well, look at that for a start. That really is a joyous bike. Well, not my cup of tea, but somebody loves it. And there we are. This is just one half of the car park, and you just like, it's as far as you can see. Just wall-to-wall bikes. So let's have a look round, and we'll start off with a Z1000. What a fabulous machine that is. I really like the look of that. Really evil looking bike, fantastic, and a Street Triple RS, like those as well. And there's a Z900, a slightly older one than mine. It somehow looks a little bit different to mine. I don't know if it's the geometry of the bike, and I didn't think they changed it that much between the two different models, but it, as I say, it does look slightly different to mine. Still, not to worry, let's keep on going down the endless rows of bikes. As I say, we've got racers, we've got off-roaders, big cruisers, everything you can think of. And I can see there, just off into the distance, we've got a blue Kawasaki Ninja of some sort. You don't often see them in blue, do you? You always think of Kawasaki's being red. Well, there's a blue one. That looks great. And you know, I really like that shade of blue. I've never been a big fan of the old Kawasaki green, I've got to be honest, although I do like Kawasaki's. Anyway, just moving up here, what have we got up here? Just behind this person, Batman, we have got a Z900 RS. There's a few Z900 RSs around. So yeah, that's good to see that one in the red and black colours. I quite like that as well. Again, not Kawasaki green. How refreshing. Okay, so here's a test for you. You've got at the back there an R1M Yamaha, and then you've got a Ducati Panigale, and at the front we have got what looks like a Fireblade. So which one of those would you take home? I mean, for me, it's got to be the Panigale, especially in those Italian colours. I think that looks brilliant. What I wouldn't want to take home is this thing. Look at the size of those handlebars. They're right way out there. I don't think I could get that through my garage door, to be honest with you. But there we are. It's still a very fine looking bike. And talking of wide things, look at the rear tyre on that bike. That is really impressive. That's like the Kim Kardashian of motorcycles. Wow. I don't know what that's like to ride, but it certainly looks incredible. But anyway, as we move around the corner, there are some more classic bikes. And look at this one, we've got the GPZ 900R Ninja, so the classic Kawasaki from Top Gun, and you just can't help getting the quotes going through your head as you look at that bike, can you? Turn and burn Mav, all that sort of stuff. Right, here's some more classics here. Well, there's a Kawasaki off-roader, I like the look of that, and also an RD350. Now there's the bike I always wanted as a 17-year-old. And not only that, a KH400 Quacker. Look at that, what a fantastic triple that is. They just don't make bikes like that anymore, and what a shame. That's a lovely looking machine. And moving up this row of bikes here, you can see again we've got all kinds of cruisers and things. Do you know, from my faded memories of the sort of 90s and noughties, I just seem to remember you could have like sports bikes, off-roaders, the standard kind of sit-up normal bike if you like, and that was about it. Maybe scooters. These days you can see from this that there's just such a variety. It's fantastic, and I think that's part of the reason I got back into biking. It's fascinating to see all these different styles of bikes. You'll have seen another Z900 RS back there, by the way, so you get to see plenty of those. We all still like the classics, don't we? But look at this, as you get this row of bikes, there's a lovely looking Z900, the M209 and the Africa Twin are my mates. But the one thing that let all this down is that queue there. Look, that is a queue all the way to get into the pub so that you can queue again to get yourself a glass of Coke. Now that can't be right, can it? So what we did was we decided that it was time to get on our bikes and get the heck out of there and go and find a pub where there wasn't a queue all the way down the road. So we were only at Bike Night for about, I don't know, maybe half an hour. So we'd seen all the bikes, and it was time to get out of there and go and get a drink. And I'll be honest, a lot of people were doing exactly the same thing. That queue for the drinks was just too long. So here we are, fighting our way through the crowds. You can see there's a lot of people here. I'll tell you what I have noticed, in this country at least, it doesn't seem to matter if you're a leather-clad street Rossi or somebody on a cruiser or somebody on a custom chop or whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as you're riding a bike, you're part of the gang. And all these people, you could go up and talk to anyone. It's great, even for someone like me who's just a poser. I guess I always thought bikers were going to be a bit more like Sons of Anarchy or the long-haired bikers of the 1970s that used to go around sort of raping and pillaging. Now, I don't know if motorcycle clubs like that do exist in the UK, but certainly everyone who was here on this bike night was very, very pleasant and easy to talk to. So, right, here we go. We're at the exit now. I'm going to follow this bike out, hang a left, and we are going to go up to a place called British Camp, which is not too far away. It's a nice little ride through the countryside. So British Camp is an old Iron Age fort located at the top of the Malvern Hills, and it's used a lot now by walkers and mountain bikers and so on. It's a great area, and there's a lovely little cafe by the side of it, and also a pub. So if the cafe's not open, we can definitely get a drink in the pub. And I'm guessing the queue's not like that one. So there we go, more bikes lining the road as we go out. Look at them, loads of them, and then a few cars. So let's head out across the countryside and get ourselves to the next place, and this is where we ended up. It's the Malvern Hills Hotel, and it does actually have dedicated parking for motorcycles. So we chilled out there for a bit, had a nice cup of tea as it was in the end, and then hit the road, and here we are back out onto the open countryside. And I'm following the M209 now. This is a nice straight bit of road. I'm guessing the Romans built this. So we're going to head out of here and get ourselves back to Gloucestershire. So you'll notice that I've finally got the camera sorted at the right angles. That's a lot better. I've also got a media pack around it which has got a rear facing microphone, so you might be able to pick up some of the engine noise. And also as well, I've taken the baffles out of my exhaust pipe because the bike just sounds great without them, and I've kind of got used to the noise. It doesn't seem to upset the neighbours, so I'm probably going to keep those out. It does sound fantastic without those baffles. So we're flinging it around a couple of these bends. Now, we don't hang about when we're out riding. I've got to say though, there's been a few bikes that have come past us like we're stood still, and here's a few coming towards us now. Look at these bad boys go. Love it. I love the sound. Brilliant. So you can see there's a lot of bikes out here at this time of night on a bike night, and I guess they're all going to the same place. Do you know, it doesn't get much better than this. The roads, at least in this part of the county, are in pretty good condition. The weather is perfect and we're having a ball. Well, we had a great ride back across the countryside with the sun shining and no rain whatsoever. It was a fantastic night to be out on the bike, and we got back with no dramas. And it's now a few days later, and on reflection, the evening had some ups and downs.
The riding was excellent, the bikes we saw were of every style and all of them awesome, although I have to say that once again I didn't see anything that I'd rather be riding home on instead of my own Z900. Okay, maybe that's Z1000, but they don't make them like that anymore, so I'll stick with what I've got. What I will say is that a bike night can be made or broken depending on the place that hosts it. In this case, it was broken. There are reports all over Facebook of people queuing for 30 to 45 minutes for a glass of Coke. And the same for a burger, which is ridiculous, and many of us just disappeared off down the road to another pub, which kind of defeats the whole object of meeting in one place. Now, rather sadly, that same evening, a report came in of 2 bikes that were involved in an accident with a car, and one man, yet to be named, has sadly lost his life. The driver of the car is still in police custody under suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs and for dangerous driving. Now, this is the second time in as many weeks that the same thing has happened, and I'm just staggered that people still get into their driver's seat of their car under the influence of any kind of drugs. So my condolences go out to the family and friends of the person who's died in such a tragic and needless way. It does, however, serve as a reminder that when we're on the bike, everyone is out there to get us, and we should assume that any car coming towards us either has an idiot at the wheel, or at least it's somebody with little or no regard for bikes, because, let's face it, more often than not, we'll actually be right. So, stay safe everyone, keep your chain oiled, and maybe I'll see you at Bike Night soon.